Exciting times for Humble Road. We made some big changes. We're moving forward. We're growing. Here's a little tour to show you where we're at. If we start at the big doors, and they are big doors, here on the left, you can see Roxy. Roxy is a 3500 XD Sprinter, 4x4. Next to Roxy, we've got the She2Me Transit 350 all-wheel drive. She2Me has their YouTube channel. And here we come upon the Stallion. Amir has purchased the Stallion, and he's going to be transporting his competition dogs. So you'll see that build go into play. And on the end here, a little 144 Sprinter, a little 2500 Sprinter. Now, if we peek around this corner for a minute, you can see these two red shelving units back here are in desperate need of organization. But this is where I will keep some of the larger items that I purchase for the vans, and they will sit here waiting to be installed in the van. And then look at this. This is the new nut bucket. The nut buckets come a long way. This side is all my plumbing. This is all the opener stuff, right? Everything is super organized now, and I will be able to tell what I need when I need it. Water pumps, everything. My faucets are up there, overflows. Everything I need for plumbing is now categorized and organized, just the way I like it. This side, electrical. That's right, lights, switches, combiner boxes, everything. Up at the top there, I've got solar controllers, right? All this stuff is waiting to be installed in vans or mini-me's or midi-me's. And then these Craig carts, these are gonna serve as my work carts. I'll pull these out to the van. If I'm doing electrical, I'll fill them with tools for electrical work. And then there's all our screws. These used to be nut buckets, I guess. We've got 4 of those screw carts with all different bolts, screws, and nuts. You see these black bins? These black bins are going to be used for wire cutoffs. That's right, any wire that's 12 inches or longer, I save it and I reuse it. There's always a use for these short wires. I'm not wasting anything. We have very little waste in this shop. On this side of the room, we've got Nadine's Midi-Me. This is a Mercedes Metris. This is the short wheelbase. It started life as a passenger van, and we're turning it into a solo traveler for Nadine. Alongside Nadine's Midi-Me is another Midi-Me. This is Carol's. This is a long wheelbase Midi-Me solo traveler, right? And then you come down here and there's a Mini-Me. This is Becky's Mini-Me. And next week we're going to be getting Jean's Mini-Me. So we'll move this table into the center of the room up there, and we'll have our 2 Metris and 2 Mini-Me's on this wall. And that means the room is full. Any other vans we have to wait outside. So that's this room now. This is the studio that you've always seen and are familiar with, but there's no more tooling in here. It's just vehicles. Where is the tooling, you say? So the Three Stooges are putting up a plastic tent because they're finally cutting through the wall today. And we don't want any dust on our precious vans. So we've got vacuums, hoses, and the room. All the vans came outside for a bath today. Since we busted through that door, we made a little dust. So we decided the right thing to do would be to give all the vans a bath. I think we did 7 vans. So let's get these babies back in because you can see those storm clouds. We got to get these babies back in. Right now, John is hosing down the shop. This side is going to be immaculate now. Nothing but vehicles. Here's Nadine. We got to give Nadine a good bath. Since we cut a hole in her roof for the air conditioner, we're going to give her a bath in the shop. Look at John. Look at him. He's literally hosing down the floor in the shop. Get all that dust and dirt. Get it out of here. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be nice. Shiny floors. I love shiny floors. And look at this now. We can walk right through to next door. Concrete's still a little wet here. And they're working on this room. Ron's got the CNC machine all plumbed and balanced. And he did 2 passes on this spoil board. So it's nice and plumb. We did a bunch of fresh wiring. Here's Barry. Barry comes in a couple days a week. Look at this. He's painting up a wire rack that John built. He welded it. He painted it.
What a job, huh?
What a job. So we got this place humming. This is just about ready for video. I told him by the end of the day, we got to have this place camera ready. That's right. We broke through the wall. Finally, after 5 months of waiting, we broke through the wall. So I am not paying rent for a big closet anymore. I can actually use this space. And you know how I feel about that. This was actually the very first space I looked at when I was on the hunt to leave my driveway. This used to be my building. I owned it. Did a lot of great photography in here over the years. It would be perfect for doing vans now. But that crash of 2008 wiped me out. Did I ever tell you about that crash of 2008? It all started one cold gray night in July. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's a great story, and I love to tell it, but not now. I got a van to build. So travel I did, south. First stop, about 50 miles south. The first space, in a very nice building, was 2,000 square feet, but in a somewhat depressed industrial park. And they were asking $2,700 a month. It was a nice, well-built space. The problem for me was all that floor space dedicated to offices. I just don't need that much office space. So we walked next door, right next door, to see a beautiful, wide open 3,000 square foot space. Oh, this was pretty nice. Now things are looking up. I could see myself in here for sure. 2 sticking points I had with this space, besides being in the same depressed industrial park, were it had 22-foot ceilings. It's going to be hard to keep that place heated. And $3,700 per month plus cam. That's a lot of moolah shmoolah. And as I looked at it, I knew I couldn't afford it. Now it's my tool room 5 years later. So let's start over here. We've got our CNC machine. We moved it over. It's been replumbed. We've got new sacrificial boards on top, MDF, ready to go. And we've got our table saw next to that. I purchased a new compressor over there, much larger one. You can see our little baby next to it. So we'll be able to have a compressor in each room now. Look at that little baby. Doesn't it look cute now? And we're going to turn this into a little wash basin room for paintbrushes and that sort of thing. And this is the big plywood rack that Alex and Ron built for me years ago. In this corner, we've got some machines that have not been put into use yet. We do pull out the jet once in a while to use it. And we're going to get a new drill press. This one has seen better days, so we're going to put that to pasture. There's a nice new milling machine, so we can do some very tricky stuff with metal. And then you come down this side, we've got all our sanding and cutting machines. And then we've created a second lane here with some Craig tables so we can do our planing and milling. Here's a router table with an Incra jig on it. Down the end here, this room is going to be used, it's a drying room. So when we finish our woodwork, we'll put it in here to dry. It's dust free. We're going to put a little air scrubber in there as well. And then you've got another lane down here with the pegboard. And we finally set up our chop saw properly on a nice flat surface. We recessed it with an Incra fence. So this is my metal working chop saw. And then down there with the Festool is the same thing for wood. Nice and clean. This room is an upholstery room. We're going to have 2 stations in here. One station there and another one on this side. And this is where we will wrap our ceiling panels and our wall panels with all the different vinyls that we use. They will all be mounted on a custom rack that we're going to build right on that wall. So you just have to pull out the one you need out onto the smooth table and wrap. No more clearing a work table off to do upholstery work. We can now do it in the room. You know what that means? That means efficiency. That means speed. Everything's going to change. I tell you, these are big times. This was an epic move for Humble Road. Down here in the last office, this is going to be the client area. This is where I can bring clients, prospective clients, and show them floor samples and wall color vinyl samples. And there will actually be a lot of pictures and videos for them to look at. We might actually build an 80-20 galley with a working 12-volt DC water pump so they can see what that's all about. And you see this silly stair rack thing here? We're getting rid of that. We do have a nice big loft over those offices, right? And it is built to take a lot of weight. So we've got some big shelves up there, and we've already got a lot of stuff stored up there. Extra appliances, sinks. We've got different laminates up there. It's a great place to store stuff. So as I said, we're going to get rid of this rickety stair ladder thing. And we're going to build an elevator. We're going to build a platform elevator using unistrut, pulleys, and a winch right here. What do you figure that's going to be? 4 feet, 5 feet wide? We'll just make a platform, and it's going to go straight up the wall on the unistrut track with trolleys. We'll use a winch to bring it up and a cable. It'll live up at the top when we need it. Push the button, bring it down, load up. So here you go. This is the new shop. It's 2,000 feet. It's plenty big. There's a lot of room in here. And like I said, the guys did a great job in the last 2 days just trying to get it set up and organized, neat and clean. And now as they begin work next week, they'll be able to refine and move things and tweak them to their liking. And I just have one ask, that they maintain this organized look. That's all. Not a lot to ask. John made this cool wire rack for me. This is unbelievable. This started, here's concept. Let me show you this. First, we talked about drawings. Look at this. This is how it all started. He did some marker drawings on some waste masonite. Then he took spools of wire and he laid the spools out on cardboard and he created the rack. So there's a landing point for each spool. And then he went home and he got his welder and he made this up. This looks like a barbell rack, doesn't it? But it's going to roll very easily. And we're going to have very heavy 4/0 and 2/0 on the bottom. And then the sizes will go all the way up. We can get quite a bit of wire on this rack. And as it turns out, I just made a huge wire order. So once that gets here, we'll fill this rack and I will pull that through these doors, and that will live over here because I will pull that wire into all these vans. Each lane has room for a scaffold and some of the larger appliances and components that are waiting to be installed in the vans. The scaffolds are very helpful when I'm doing my roof racks, my solar panels, get the air conditioners up there, and we put padding on all sides of these things, and then we lock the wheels. We don't even let them get close to the vans. And all the vans get enveloped in cardboard so that we don't have any problems with scratches, dings. Here's my new office. This is a rolling cart, standing office. I'll be able to keep all of my receipts in the drawers and make all my orders and notes. I love that. Love it. Oh, Papa. Papa's still here with me. Yep, he's been here the whole time. So there you have it. We finally broke through the wall. We've got our big, beautiful tool room, and the studio is clean. We've got all the vehicles washed, in place, ready to be cared for and innovated in. It is a new beginning for Humble Road, a new, clean, organized beginning. I had a tiger by the tail for a long time. This thing grew fast. Now I got control of that tiger, and we are going to be making some real innovation and build more beautiful vans. I cannot wait for tomorrow morning.